Welcome back to another episode of Marketing Decoded, a podcast by Davis Marketing Company. I'm Sarah, a graphic designer here, and today we have
Ashlee. I am lead account manager here at Davis Marketing. And then joining us is
Rachel, and I am an account manager following Ashlee's lead.
Yeah.
Since you're my boss.
Yeah.
So. What are we talking about today, Ashlee?
So today we're talking about, do you do that? So, and what we sort of mean by that is like the obscure things that clients ask us to do. Because you and I actually just got done working on something pretty random. So we're talking about like the different things that we do for our everyday clients, but that aren't everyday needs. So
that's a good way to put it.
I mean, that's the best way I can think of it. You know, a lot of things are included in our retainer contracts for our clients. We do so much for them, but a lot of them I feel like think that it's just that social media, it's just, you know, billboard design, things like that.
So a campaign, an ad, just the basic thing.
Yeah, but we can do so much more.
Yes.
So, Sarah, why don't you talk a little bit about what we've been working on the last couple of days?
Yeah, so I got an email from Ashlee not too long ago saying, real quick, we need
fast turnaround.
We need some wristbands for the fair, and specifically these were for kids that the parents could write their name on, their phone number on.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it would be just in case the kid got lost at the fair. It's a lot of people there, they could easily find them. And that's something I never thought we would really work on, but because I've only been here a year. But it was something I was like, that's really interesting that we can just order that, make it real quick, and give it to our customers.
Yeah. So this is for the Kiwanis Club of Griffin. I used to be a member here at the Statesboro Club, and we did it there. We never had a sponsor, or we had sponsors, but we never did the printed wristbands. So when I started working with the Kiwanis Club of Griffin, leading into another kind of do you do that thing, because of my experience at Statesboro Kiwanis with the fair, the rodeo, and with sponsorships, Kiwanis of Griffin said, hey, we need to create some sponsorship packages to sell to our community. And so I did that. Like I created their packages from scratch and said, like, you know, these people pay this much. It's named the Blue Ribbon, you know, fair sponsor or Ferris wheel founder, you know, came up with some cute little like fair themed names and helped come up with pricing, helped come up with what they get within that pricing, and pitched it to them. They loved it. They've been working on selling them for the fair. And so, that was one of the sponsorships, was the wristband sponsor. And so as part of that, we, you know, did those wristbands, and we're helping to do the sponsorship activation, basically. So like, you know, those sponsors that are paying money to support the fair, we're giving them shout outs on Facebook. We put them on the poster. You know, we do things like that so that they get that attention that they deserve for being supportive of the fair. And
the recognition.
Exactly.
I know I've had a lot of requests with, you know, school starting back, a lot of athletic, like football sponsorships where we need a full page designed. We want to show that our business is supporting, you know, BA Gators or SEB jackets or SHS Blue Devils, all of the different sponsorship sizes, full pages, half pages, social media. Like we design all of those things, and we can do that.
Right, exactly. So we can do those and build ads for those. We can make sure that signage is designed fitting their brand, and work with, you know, our neighbors' action signs to get that done. And if they need it, we do a lot of that, like helping them take advantage of their sponsorships that they've done, even posting it on social media and saying we're a proud sponsor of this event. You know, that's getting your name out there. You're
advertising yourself.
Right.
It falls under marketing.
Right.
That's what we do.
Exactly. You're paying for the recognition, and you should be getting it from whoever you're paying for that sponsorship. But you gotta like push yourself a little bit too, you know, and say, hey, we did this, you know. So
all the random stuff, just ask, do y'all do that? Because most likely we do, or we can figure out a way to do something similar to what you're wanting. I would never have thought, let's do a wristband.
Yeah.
Right.
I never would have thought of that.
Right.
And project that I think of, something that I wasn't a part of, but it was talk around the office because it was so new and so cool, was the label that y'all did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a client, IHS. They are, because it's a pharmacy, they are part of the Georgia Pharmacy Association. They had the opportunity to do a barrel pick of bourbon or something. I don't remember what it was. Whiskey, maybe, whatever. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But they asked us to design the label. And I thought that was really cool, like really unique. They really wanted it to look old timey because we were celebrating an anniversary of the association. And so we got to work on, their graphic designers got to work on it. I just helped pull ideas together.
I just got to listen to all the ideas.
Yeah. And so we ended up with one, and they loved it. So another thing about that is we were in sort of a hurry with this because their stuff was coming up really quickly, and we got the request sort of last minute. And our client, they knew that it might be pushing it to try and get that done. So they were perfectly willing to order the stickers themselves. We wanted to try and get more like a waterproof label like you would actually see on a liquor bottle. So I was talking to Bailey about it, and Bailey actually went in and she found a source, was on the phone with them trying to find out. But the problem was it was a die cut. And so because it was going to be die cut, that production time takes a lot longer, and we weren't going to be able to meet the deadline. So we didn't get to do it to the extent that we wanted to, and it'd be like the really nice material kind of thing, but they were still pleased with the design.
So what she's saying is, if you make the request ahead of time and give us the time to design it and get things ordered, we can give you the best quality that our customers deserve.
Yeah,
you deserve.
We can get it done fast. We just can't always get the things ordered in that we need to get done.
Think about the order time.
Yeah.
Most likely we can do it.
Yeah. And so, speaking of lead time, we've worked on some banners and stuff like that, trade show projects.
Yes.
And we have to order those, at least a few weeks in advance.
Yeah.
What are some of the ones that you've done for us?
So some of the ones that we've gotten to do lately are the East Georgia healthcare ones. So with school starting back and everything, they've really wanted to put out some large trifolds, things you would see at large trade shows or whatever. And they want to use these to educate kids and teachers and parents about, athletic hydration was one of them, the signs of puberty and how to deal with that transition, adolescence, some of the things that you need to look out for during adolescence. And it's just been a really great thing to work on because it's going to be actually benefiting a lot of people.
Right.
But these are a lot of large scale things, but they're really great to be able to do a lot of these typical types of design, which you don't always get to do with a lot of things. A lot of it is, fun and flashy and stuff, but this is effective. But this is, impacting families and people in their workplace and in their school.
And so one thing we talk about a lot, and we've actually been talking about it more in our staff meetings lately, is our goal, our mission is to work together to change people's lives kind of thing. Yeah. And how are we doing that? So, if we're helping somebody set up for a job fair, we're working on designs right now for the Sunbelt Ag Expo for a client of ours who is in agriculture. And so we're doing a step and repeat. We're doing some informational banners. He wants us to put together a catalog. So we've already done this website. We're doing reels. We're doing commercials. We're doing all these different things for him. And so these are things that people don't think about that.
Right.
I mean, you think about reels, you think about social media posts.
Yeah.
But we actually are doing a full-length commercial that's going to be on a nationally syndicated show.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool. Little DMC here, is going to get to be seen across the nation.
And that even reminds me on a project that I recently got to work on, and you helped me with it. But we did an ad that was a Spotify ad. It played on Spotify. There was no commercial, but it was an audio ad.
Yeah.
And it was just to promote a concert that was going on, and it was playing across the whole world.
Right.
Like,
yeah. She's being humble. She was part of the concert too. But yeah, so, and you were like brand new and we worked on that together.
It was
so
like my first month. And I was like, how do I do this? But Ashlee was the voice, and she was the one saying, go to the concert.
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing is like we have a liaison that we work with to purchase those, but then we help execute them. So like we wrote the script.
Yep.
I did the voiceover. We sent it in. We also did a billboard design.
Yeah, we did a billboard design. We did,
and it was a digital billboard, not your regular like you know vinyl billboard. So
we did that. We did the Spotify ad. We even did an ad on YouTube.
Yes.
We created one for that. And we also did one on Hulu.
Yeah.
So we did all sorts of things.
Yeah. And
you wouldn't even think of in your everyday.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But what's cool about those ads is you can pinpoint, like you can say, I want it to play for girls who like country music. I want it to play for people who live in Bullitt County or people who live in Nashville, Tennessee, anywhere. We can do demographic. We can do age group. What are your likes? What are your dislikes?
Yeah.
Back to school.
Exactly.
So it's pretty cool stuff.
So you mentioned like the demographics and like the locations of targeting people.
Right.
So we also, when we work with Splash in the Borough, everybody in Bullitt County knows about Splash in the Borough.
Yeah.
Like you can't live here and not know.
It's the only thing to do here.
So the only like, you know, family friendly.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. But when we do those ads for them, we tend to target outside of Bullitt County.
Right.
Because the Bullitt County people they're aware.
Reached.
Like they've been reached. They know Splash is open.
Yeah.
So, and they actually collect analytics on their ticket buyers. And we saw last year an influx of people out of the Augusta area.
Yeah.
So this year, guess where we targeted?
Yeah.
The Augusta area. And so we're able to even do things like that and keep, you know, and keep those things in mind as we target people. And I mean, we don't have that information of who's buying their tickets, but if you have it as our client or and these things are things we can do for people that aren't clients.
Right.
Like, you know, the concert ad, that was just sort of a one-off.
Right.
Like they're not a retainer client yet, maybe. Wink. But you know, that's something that we can do for anybody when we need to.
And just like you were talking about earlier, our goal is to change people's lives. And we work with a lot of small businesses. Our goal is to help your business grow, to change your life as a business owner, to change our community with a lot of small businesses. And so thinking about Splash, it started out as a small business and it's still considered a small business, but we're helping them grow by reaching Augusta, Savannah, all of these surrounding areas to bring people to have that experience and make memories. That's changing lives. Like, they're making memories.
Oh yeah.
They're having fun. So it's all about changing lives.
Yeah. And when we do those videos, you know, we have to come up with something to say.
Yeah.
We're sitting here not using a script. We're just sort of playing off of one another and talking
like
through
what
our
we're doing
list.
right now.
You know? but we do offer script writing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's one thing that we can do for like a hold message. Thank you for calling. You know, those kind of things, or voiceovers. We can do those and submit those. We also, you know, speaking of writing, you've been helping me a lot lately with
press releases. A lot.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah. No, they're not.
Being sarcastic.
I love a good essay. I'm good with it.
We love going back to school.
Yeah.
No. I wrote enough of those for class with getting my journalism degree, which is why they usually fall to me to write, which is fine, you know, but so I really do appreciate that you've taken that on, you know, helping out and doing that, especially because it's for one of your clients. You know? So Sarah is a graphic designer, but we sort of, I don't know why I air quoted graphic designer, because she is a graphic designer.
But she does
but she does a little bit of everything. Yeah. She helps us write content when we need her. I mean, she's just sort of a jack of all trades. And so she's been helping out with Helpful Teas. So writing their content and doing the press releases for them.
And designing t-shirts, which we also do.
Yeah. The list goes on. Like, I was thinking when we were sort of prepping for this that we weren't going to really have a lot to talk about, because I was like, oh, well, we've done the liquor bottle, of course, is but then I was like, but the more I talked or I thought about it, and then like we talked, the more like just came up, and I was just like, okay, wow, we really do a lot of things that people just don't think about.
Yeah. And even in just a year, it feels like it's so varied. Like, of course, we have our social posts that we do each month. But I mean, the liquor bottle was this year. The billboards, we have them every year. We have the wristband this year. Like, everything that we've done this year has been like so unique and so fun. And I think that's such an important thing for clients to know, and even non-clients, that if they want to do these big things, it doesn't have to be daunting for them. We're here to do that service for them and to help them through that, and be the liaison, like you said, for, between the broader marketing and all that. And I think that's something really important for clients to just understand, that like, we're here for everything, anything that they need, we're here,
Yeah. And that's a really good point, because like, we even have someone who's a former client who sometimes will still call on us.
Oh, yeah.
We miss you, Josh. But we've done his letterhead before, like his envelopes and stuff like that. He's an attorney here in town, Josh Tucker. And every year he sends out poinsettias to his regular clients and people that are his business partners.
Love that.
And so he asked us one year for some ideas. And we found a printed ribbon that we could get done. So it was like a red ribbon, and it was embossed in gold with his logo. And I just thought that was so unique and just like the perfect touch, to add. But the gold and the red were Christmassy, so it added to. But it also branded that poinsettia as, oh, Josh sent this to us,
It's elegant, but it's just like that touch of branding that's like, hey, this is from me.
Yeah.
Personal.
And it's subtle.
Yes.
It's not like so in your face.
Yeah. It's not the poinsettia spelled out, Josh Tucker,
Yeah.
It's not something like that.
They didn't engrave it on the leaf or something, So, but that's something that we've done that's very, very unique.
Yeah.
And still to this day, one of my favorite projects, honestly. One of my other favorite projects that I have been really, really pushing my clients to do lately is coloring books.
Oh, yeah.
We have a source that we can get coloring books from, and I have one client that finally took the bait from me, and it was for internet safety. It was planners. They bought some coloring books, and it's they're juvenile because it's coloring, but it's teaching kids about internet safety and how to protect
Which is
themselves.
so important in today's world.
Absolutely. And so I really like that. And there's so many different options. There's like options for dentists. There's options for banks.
We have pediatric.
Yes. And those are things that we can order for people that aren't our clients.
Right.
Like, we're talking about it from a perspective of these people are our clients, but that's because that's who we interact with most.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're watching and you're not our client, we can still get these things for you.
Do
we
you
can
do that?
still
Probably.
Exactly. Yeah. Most likely. If we don't, we know who does.
Yeah. So speaking of, we may not know how to do your job, but we can video you doing your job. And we actually put together a lot of franchising videos, a lot of training videos, training PowerPoints as well. That's one thing we did for SIP.
Southern Industrial Protection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we got to do some training videos to help people learn about, CPR. It was about like preterm labor. It was all these like medical things.
I didn't know the preterm labor was in there. That's fun.
I believe it
not
was
fun, but
I believe it was
interesting.
A lot of OBGYNs.
They're first responder.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. So yeah.
So we learned a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't, apparently.
I felt like I was in school again with my biology lessons going through everything. Well, this sounds familiar.
So if something happens here at DNC, all we got to do is go pull up the
Exactly. Yeah.
And
scroll to page 153 and you should find out how to do it.
Marketing first and safety first.
Yeah. So was there a thing in there about getting overheated or like heat exhaustion?
There was a lot of that.
Because we also did fans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We did those fans for Downtown Live.
It was so cool to get to see everyone just fanning with them.
Mm-hmm.
The night that I went out there to get content, I was like zooming in on every single fan. So it was just fans that night. But that's just something you don't think about. Like, where did the fans come from?
And it's so hot right now.
Yeah.
If you were to go to a concert, you definitely need that fan.
Everyone was using
I call them funeral home fans.
Yeah.
Because, you typically get them
Right.
at the
And there's a lot of like older people that go to those. There's a lot of children that go to those, and you want to make sure that everyone's safe and
comfortable.
Exactly. And just having that little touch of like a fan, like a branded fan, instead of just people having to use some loose piece of paper to fan themselves.
Right.
It just makes the experience better, and it makes it like more personable as well.
Exactly.
And I think too, like, in marketing, we strive for excellence. It's actually one of our words that spells out fierce that we strive for. And when you can make an event just come together, it makes the whole experience better.
Yeah.
You have the look, you have the brand going on, the experience, people are having fun.
Yep.
You're not looking in the picture and you're like, oh, we really need to Photoshop this out because it has nothing to do with our event. Like, it just all comes together so great. It's so satisfying.
Well, speaking of coming together, like that sort of comes full circle with a point we made earlier.
Yeah.
Those fans were actually sponsored by a local business. And I helped Downtown Live come up with those sponsorship packages and the idea of doing, different sponsorships like that. We called it the fanfare sponsor.
Oh, nice.
And so, good play on words there. And
I'm a fan.
So
sorry.
That was pretty good. This is why we write content. This is why we write content, because of the plays on words. But yeah, so that they're just coming full circle, and you're able to like wrap all of those things together. If you're having an event and you need to send out invitations or you need a press release about it, you need swag bags to give away. You need tents, you need tablecloths, you need anything like that. That's stuff that we can do. And
business cards.
Exactly. I mean, and again,
with your headshot on it.
Yeah, we could do headshots too. Exactly. And again, even if you're not our client, these are things we offer to our community.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
And we're here to help, in any way we can, small businesses. One of the things that I have always wanted to help out with is like naming a business. Like when somebody has an idea of a business, like we help do the branding, create the logo, all that kind of stuff. But like, I want somebody to come to us and be like, I have this idea for this business and I need a name. And I want to be able to help with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get a little taste of that, like with New South Ag, like I was talking about earlier, our agriculture client. He comes to me and he's like, I've got this product and I'm going to do this with it. It's going to do, it's going to run mice away, and I'm like, okay, do you have a name for it? No. Okay. So we start to, brainstorm on names and then logos. Right. That too. Yeah. We had to name the podcast. And so, like, I love that kind of thing, like trying to pull, the different aspects of things all together. And you can really do that with the branding. But I really want to start it from the very beginning, with a startup business. So one thing that we definitely do is bring a lot of energy to your brand and to our clients. And so
what kind of energy,
we
Ashlee?
also drink a lot of energy drinks around here. Maybe too many.
I don't know who you're looking at.
I don't, me either.
Your cardiology office, we would like your services.
That's on page 232 of the SIP manual. But no, we recently designed stickers for IHS Pharmacy.
It was so cute.
And I'm bringing IHS back in, and they sell amped up teas. And so they're energy drinks or dirty Alanis, whatever you want to call them.
Got one.
And they're so good.
So good.
But we designed stickers for them. And like one of them says like every sip is a taste of Medder, or and we did some Have the Day You Deserve, like some really cute ones, and there's room for them to write the name of the tea on there if they want to, or the name of the person, and they were really cute, and it just adds to their branding. So if you're walking around with this drink and it looks
Someone
really
wants
good,
to know where it came
right,
from.
there's IHS's logo on it,
And it's something so simple, like Rachel's been saying, it's something you don't really think about, but it just
Exactly.
makes it more special,
Right.
because it's a small community and you can just share like, "Oh, I got mine from IHS," go
Exactly.
to
And you're
yours now.
promoting your neighbor. If
Mhm.
you're in a small business or a small
Right.
community, you're promoting your neighbor,
Yeah.
like helping each other out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, how much swag do you get from like big brands and big
Mhm.
companies? You go in and you sign up with a national bank for an account, and you walk away with a pen and a
Mhm.
koozie and
a hat.
a hat and all this kind of stuff. But you can do that even if you're a locally owned bank,
Right.
Yeah.
or if you're a swimming pool company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of a swimming pool company, I didn't even think about this. Last year, we did a giveaway for one of our clients who installs swimming pools. We actually went shopping, bought the things for a gift basket, and just invoiced them for the cost of it, and ran a social media promotion for them to be able to give that away.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we do too. We do giveaways. And that one we took a little bit of a step further.
Right.
But, I've done giveaways where it's just like share and enter, so those brainstorming ideas, we just do we do those for our clients. But that's part of what we do. Like,
You're not getting one of us. You're getting all of us.
Right.
You're getting all of our different talents and skills and
Mhm.
ideas. And that's why it's important to work with a company, with an
Mhm.
agency,
Yeah.
because we're putting in our best effort to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
what you need.
And if one of us feels a little bit weaker in that area, then there is somebody here that's gonna know,
Right.
Like, for example, I mean, yeah, you were brand new, but you wanted to be able to promote the concert and to do some things with that, and you just didn't know how, like, didn't know where to start. And because I've been at this a little bit longer than most, I was able to. I'm seasoned, yeah. I was able to help you out with that, because I'm familiar with those products and I've done it before, and I was actually running them for Splash in the Borough at that time. And so yeah, like, you didn't know, but now you do, so it's just passing on that knowledge. And then, like, we're trying to do here. That's
Right.
what the podcast is all about,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
is passing on what not trying to sell our services. I mean, yeah, if you want to be our client, call us, but also to just pass on the knowledge of all these things that you can do that really can grow your business. And whether that's with us or just with the information we're providing you.
You may not know where to start, but we can help you get there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We even had one company reach out to us, and they just wanted suggestions on, like, what are some things I can do to get more people in my door. And because of their affiliation with a larger company, they weren't able to do, a whole lot, and they weren't able to sign a contract with us or anything like that. But they were able to pay us as a vendor. We just put together a list of best practices for them so that they could, use them as they were able to. Again, they are part of a larger entity, so they, weren't able to do everything we gave them. But they were just paying us for our advice, our recommendations, and we gladly gave that to them. So yeah, that's sort of what the podcast is all about, is, talking about what we can do and what you can do on your own. But again, if you need us, we're here, call us.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in to Marketing Decoded podcast with DMC. Make sure to like and subscribe, share it with your friends who run small businesses. Maybe they can learn something from this podcast. But we want to help you grow. And if you want to know if we do that,
We probably do.